Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. Let's talk about Asteroid City. So, Wes Anderson, a bit of a Marmite filmmaker. He's one of them that people tend to either love or kind of really not get involved with and not like their films at all. I know a lot of people who kind of marvel over Wes Anderson films, and certainly at film school, it was definitely someone that was talked about a lot. He has a very unique style. His visual style is very specific and very his own. You don't really see anyone else doing it like that. This obviously creates kind of a bit of a weird fanboyism around it, to be honest. But he has now had a series of high quality films over a long period of time with amazing casts, amazing production, amazing sets. So anytime a new Wes Anderson film comes out now, it's kind of a bit of a big deal in the film world. So before jumping into my thoughts on Asteroid City, I've got to say I really did not like his previous film, The French Dispatch. I felt the film was overly convoluted. I didn't like the structure. I didn't like the three separate acts that kind of came together at the end, but kind of didn't. I just didn't like any of it. I didn't really feel like I was involved in the story at all. And it felt like the most Wes Anderson film possible, and not in the best way. So within the first half an hour of this film, I was very glad to say I was definitely more engaged. This film does still have a bit of an interesting structure where it kind of goes back and forth between the theatre, which is the story. The writer has written Asteroid City as a theatre show, and we're now seeing his theatre show brought to life, but in real life, not in the theatre. Bit complicated, but for the most part, we see the actual story taking place in Asteroid City. It's linear, it goes through in the correct order, it's not particularly hard to follow or particularly complicated. This already was a good jumping on point for me. The main thing I enjoyed about this film compared to his previous ones is I just felt there was a lot more heart, there was a lot more characters that I could actually like and appreciate and try and get on board with. There was definitely characters in this that from the beginning I was like, okay, cool, yeah, this is a fun character I can follow. The film was funny, the film was engaging, I felt, although some people do disagree. As you expect at this point, the cinematography and the set design, all that kind of stuff was just spotless throughout. But I'll go back to my first point. The thing I felt this film was really good at, again, which he's done in the past, but just didn't get me in The French Dispatch, was humour. This film made me laugh out loud multiple times, and it is getting harder and harder to do that as we all get a bit older. I won't give away what it is that happens in the plot, but there's a bit in the middle of this film that, even having seen the trailers, was really unexpected and literally had me sitting there dying. It was so funny. The film also isn't excessively long. I haven't actually checked the runtime, but I didn't feel it anyway, which is a good sign because a film feeling long is much worse than a film being long. As you expect at this point, the film has an amazing cast and pretty much everyone that's in this hits it out of the park. Some really fun performances. Scarlett Johansson stands out, playing a kind of deadpan character that you wouldn't think would stand out, but somehow still manages to. And there's a few cameos that go a long way and are really fun, and one that kind of weirdly ties into an upcoming film as well. All in all, I think this is a return to form for Wes Anderson after my not liking The French Dispatch. The thing with Wes Anderson films is people definitely have different opinions on them all. One person's favourite Wes Anderson film might be someone else's least favourite. I think that's quite common, and I see quite a lot of that in the film review kind of sphere. But overall, yeah, I really enjoyed this one a lot more than I expected to. If you've enjoyed any previous Wes Anderson film, this is one that I would see personally. I think it's now already available on streaming services, which is a huge disservice to the cinema, and I don't know why they keep doing this. They're just taking the legs out from underneath these films, but that's a whole different topic. I think if I was to put a score on this, I'd probably give this film a 7.5 out of 10. It's a good, fun film. I enjoyed my time. It doesn't drag on, but it also didn't kind of ever reach those heights of, you know, really funny or really emotional. So yeah, this one gets a thumbs up from me. If you like Wes Anderson, go and see it. If you don't, maybe give it a go. It's out on streaming, so find it there now. I've got a few more film reviews coming up. I've been to cinema a lot recently, and there's a lot of films coming out over the next couple of weeks, which I'm very invested in. So come back here and find reviews for all of them, hopefully, as well. See you there.